so we can witness where we go. We've seen Consulate and Villa so far today. Is it going to go there? Are we going to go to either of those places? No, we're going to go to Coastlines. We're going to go to Spain.
You always like to note on the geographical location.
How many times can I talk about a map? We're going to Coastline. What else can I say? It's a box. It's square.
There's got another box inside of it where the enemy can see you.
How do you want me to go to the Italian countryside? We'll go to the island paradise.
Seems like it'd be a really nice place to rent out for like a party weekend. It's got a lot of rooms that are just like, that seems to be the theme. Personal chef there for the whole kitchen area. It's a really big kitchen.
Given how big it is, there's only 2 bathrooms. And one of the bathrooms is upstairs in like the penthouse. Like if you think about it, if you're like partying outside, think about where you need to go. Like if you're in the pool area or you're over by the ruins, you got to go all the way to by the kitchen to go to the bathroom.
It's actually a really good point that the bathroom is the bathroom situation is pretty bad. And then again, one of them's a personal bathroom, like you said. So that one's not even going to be used. There's one public for all of that space. There's limited sleeping areas too. Like if we're talking about like if it's like
nobody can stay over.
Right.
There's one bed.
And if it's a party, like if you're gonna rent it for like a weekend, then that's a limited. Okay. Hopefully there's a hotel nearby.
Is it an island?
Also, that might be. I don't know. I haven't looked at the.
I don't remember if it's an island or not.
But also, the security room is in the building, and it's like in a corner of the building. I would have imagined like if you're gonna have that, it would be off-site. If that makes sense, for a building this big, there's got to be property around it where you would have a security room like that. It would make much more sense to have it off-site.
Yeah.
Because then it's a reactionary system instead of like, then it could be targeted and taken down.
Like, I want to know from the devs, where do you expect people to sleep? Like, if they're staying over, like, think about how big
one
that
bed
pool is.
right?
The pool's got the poolside bar. You've got the seating out on the hookah deck. You got the seating out by the VIP. You got VIP itself. You got the records hall. You got hookah lounge, billiards. There's so much room for activities, but there's nowhere for you to actually stay.
Yeah, so there's got to be like maybe they've got like a partnership with a hotel nearby. That's the best that I can give them.
Maybe there's a shuttle, a water shuttle. It's the same as Cafe Dostoevsky. Like, think about it. You go to Cafe Dostoevsky, the whole bottom floor is all a bakery. You've got the area for seating, etc. Only one bathroom, and it's on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. Like, what, are you going to climb? Oh, I got to go.
And it's a single bathroom. It's a single bathroom. It's not even like you want to go to a bakery that's like, where's your bathroom? Oh, it's all the way upstairs. You got one toilet. That's it.
And it's just the one, it's the one toilet. There's a lot of space in there, too. Like, I mean...
You got to go all the way up there. It's going to take a long time to get there.
What building planner's like, you know what, I need more storage space for this single shelf in the back bar storage instead of a larger bathroom?
I just think the fact there's no bathroom on the main floor of Cafe is just, it's inexcusable.
That too. Yeah, I mean, because,
inexcusable.
And it's not handicap friendly. That's another thing.
Not at all.
Like, how are you getting to that bathroom?
You have accessibility issues, and you need to get up to the bathroom at Cafe. You can't do it.
And this is supposed to,
no elevators. Other than Bank, are there maps with elevators?
Not that I know of.
That's tough. I'm
thinking, well, in competitive map pool, don't think so.
We're waiting for everybody to get in the lobby, by the way, as you can obviously tell. Holy hell.
That has got to be the number one, right? What is with you guys this season in like these one-sided polls?
Well, they were wrong.
For most of the matches today.
Yeah, are you going to be right here?
Well, they were right for DZ at least.
Hmm?
They were right for DZ, right? So, but other than that...
They were right for DZ.
90%
for Space Station. Holy
That's really
That's
high.
only 3% lower than it was for TSM, and TSM did not win.
TSM had 87, yeah. So...
90%.
Dang. Well,
high hopes for Space Station, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Tempo Storm is going to be starting on defense here, as we'll get underway with our 3rd matchup of Playdate number 4. Can Tempo Storm get their first victory of the season? They and Team Reciprocity, who will be playing in the next match against Evil Geniuses, are the only 2 teams that do not have a single win. They have 1 point apiece. Or could SSG stick with the pack? There's no way for SSG to finish below 2nd place or above 2nd place. They will finish 3rd at absolute worst. So, are they going to do it? Are they going to get the points? Who knows? First ban is a Dokkaebi, banned out by Tempo Storm. They don't want to deal with Dokkaebi on Coastline here. She's a strong operator. She can bring frag grenades, which can be extremely powerful on every single site. Whether you drop them down to kitchen or double bars, whether you can use them below on hookahs, there's some common spots where people sit. Also, just generally an annoying operator to deal with. Space Station also takes care of Jackal and Valkyrie. So we've seen some flexibility already in the attacking bans. Will we see an Anchor get banned here from Tempo Storm? Very common to see Maestro or an Echo. Mira doesn't see a ton of play, and she's not going to be the one to be banned. It's going to be Echo instead, and those will be your 4 operator bans.
So, ban phase done. Now we get to get into the meaty action. Now, I like the Valkyrie ban here. I think that makes sense on Coastline. Always been talked about. She is one of the best defenders on this map, and getting rid of her is a huge advantage. It makes it so you don't have to just kind of walk around outside as an IQ and be like, oh, was there a camera over here? What about over here?
You don't need an IQ at all anymore because Valk and Echo are both removed from action. I mean, you could bring an IQ if you really want to. I imagine this Amaru is 6th pick bait. Maybe not. Are we about to see?
Usually when you bring in a Amaru,
there we go.
You 6-pick into it or you 6-pick out of it.
Yeah,
it's like a Frost. You know, it's got a unique ability that's useful if they don't know that you're using it.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So, double bar.
Bomb located
To
by
begin.
attackers.
Wall fortified.
Double Bars holds the, I believe last time we saw the statistics, the best defender record, and that's because it also doesn't see the same amount of play. Sometimes those statistics are very deceiving. Sometimes you'll read a statistic and you'll think to yourself, okay, well, wow, why don't they just play Double Bars more? It has the best defensive rate, and it's because it only gets played like 4 times in comparison to the 12 times that every other site is going to get played, or at least the main 2 sites, which tend to be Kitchen and Hookah. We don't see Penthouse Theater anymore. It's very easy to take control of main lobby, and then because you have control of main lobby, any kind of vertical play will mean that you are doomed if you are playing inside a theater. Rough spot to find yourself in. But it's going to be the double bar to start off with from Tempo Storm here. Once again, Mozzie. He didn't see a ton of play on Villa. You will see a lot of him on Coastline. A big part of that is because you can get from one side of Coastline to the next, and it's actually fairly easy to drone out Coastline in short order. There's a lot of narrow, singular doorways, and if you set up your defense in such a way, well, then you don't really have any rotates where your drones can go through, so that Mozzie grows in strength.
It's an odd oversight there from Tempo Storm, not reinforcing the entirety of Cocktail Bar. Of course, it's a roam position, so it's not essential necessarily, but could definitely assist the hole upstairs. And well, Space Station is going to open up that angle to try and cut off the rotation potential there for the defenders. Maestro spotted in the hallway outside of Kitchen. And Fultz, who had drawn himself in, is going to start looking for that fight. He's got a lot of angles to consider here, though, so he cannot rush this situation. Creators playing in luggage. It's a dangerous spot to play. You're still exposed to the skylight, but you can just narrowly avoid being shot from above at every angle. You can see that Fultz is just holding a long angle into the Sunrise Bar, trying to catch one defender as he rotates. But nobody's going to on Tempo Storm because there's no reason to rotate right now because there's no pressure being applied to defenders vertically yet.
No way this drone doesn't get spotted. This is the oldest trick in the book. You put the drone on the bomb trick.
They actually made it harder recently. In the last update, they made it so the bomb chassis is no longer like an easy to climb thing. You have to jump on the bar on the side and then jump on the top.
You can't put anything on the bomb either anymore. You used to be able to put like ADSs and Evil Eyes on the actual chassis.
Yeah.
Not doable anymore. I'm still waiting for the day where they close it off so you can't play like those really tight angles around it because of the fact that the smoke that
Make it a box.
Yeah, just make it a big old box that you can't, because you can get people that'll sit at the bottom and look through like the chain.
That is so
fencing.
dumb.
Yeah, I mean, just please, if you're listening to us, please make it so that you can't like look through the bomb. Make it. I think Get Flanked actually is advocating for that as well. Please just make. Yeah, I think please just make it so that it's it's solid. Anywho, Filthy gets kill number 1, traded off by Bosco onto Crazy, who from the grave you see that his fire arrow is going to do some great work. Rampy and Fultz are there as well. Thinking Nade was the only one without a kill. Canadian gets one. It could have been a team ace, but it will be denied as there is no Thinking Nade on the board. Very low HP for all members of SSG. Dream gets chased off from a very aggressive Fultz, and the plant going down from Canadian in the corner. Reloading is the Maestro, who will go on to his Evil Eye Cam, but realize that he has no coverage of the site any longer, and he'll have to wade out of Kitchen, making an awful lot of noise. Pre-firing as best as he can. He's completely blind. He has no idea where anybody is. He's going to go upstairs, And playing behind the shield is Fultz. We'll pick up a second kill, and SSG will take the first round with the diffuser down.
So the Constrictor strategy working out for SSG. They circled the site. They had full control of all different lanes leading to and from that site. Then once the take started, all of the players on Tempo Storm reacted, left their safe zones. SSG caught them in that reaction. A series of kills come out for both teams, but SSG, better prepared, better positioned, were the ones to come out on top. Now, that's a good start for SSG. It honestly looked like Tempo Storm might have been able to just wait it out, but things played out the best way possible for SSG. Could have been a devastating round, though. That's for sure. The attack was well positioned, yes, but when you don't have like a clear-cut way to apply pressure to the site, when you're not really sure where exactly everything's going to be playing out, which clearly seemed to be the way, the strategy there for SSG, it can leave you exposed to running out of time. Now that didn't happen, luckily for SSG, but it was a risk. It's going to be another double bar. This is quite interesting. Tempo Storm seem to believe or feel that the double bar is their best site, and they're going to hammer themselves against this site, throw themselves at this until it works. We'll see if they actually make it work. Lots of angles being opened up above in Hookah. The roam upstairs didn't work very well for Tempo last time, so I don't imagine it's going to get that much better. But who knows, like I said. Being extended roam over by VIP, some pressure applied to Kitchen from above. Don't know if there's anyone going to be in a position to actually use that hole that was made. Dream is going to be playing by Kitchen this time instead of in the site. I really like that change from Tempo Storm. It might not work out. It could be that they just extended their Maestro and he dies. But I think it's smarter that Tempo Storm actually tries to slow down Kitchen rather than just giving it over to SSG, because Fultz's position in Kitchen was big last round.
Dream tends to play very aggressively as a Maestro, and in matches past, we have seen him be the unfortunate first death for his squad, which, on some of the roles that he plays, not ideal for Tempo Storm's fortunes. Maestro, we've talked about this before, and the way that teams structure their defense doesn't necessarily need to be an anchor. He can play off-site, he can play flex if need be, but you're usually going to want to keep those Evil Eye cams up towards the bitter end. In this case, you don't want to die early. Is that one of the new skins, by the way, on the pistol? That look pretty nice.
I think this is one of the new skins right here.
Yes, that is. No. Anything that has any of those sharp lines.
And it's got a little bit of a shine to it. Have you noticed? It's kind of it's got a shiny
shimmer.
Yeah, shimmer that most guns, most skins don't actually have. Some do, but not most.
You have to have bloom on, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So you know how like some of the charms glow? I was told that you have to have bloom on. I don't know if that's true, but somebody told that to me.
I think
none of my charms glow.
I think it has a lighter glow if you have like there's a array of settings that will have it.
Yeah.
But like the really bright shiny glow that we see in Pro League, that's because we have our settings maxed out, and I think. And
weird flex, but okay.
What? Dude, it's not even mine. All right. Anyway.
Oh my.
That's some aggressive play there from Fultz.
As we leave the banter behind, Space Station will lose Bosco. Dream, once again, playing aggressive as we noted earlier on. He pushes up to 90 and he takes out Bosco. And they lose another, and another two. 3 from SSG will be bid farewell. As Tempo have now 3 kills from 3 separate players on the team. Slowing down for just the time being as Thinking Nate absorbs an awful lot of damage. It's a double bar defense. Smoke falls to Canadian. A second for him as he catches the pulse. That's an operator he's very familiar with. He's in sight and he could possibly plant if Thinking Nate can get some coverage. If there's no Evil Eye to spot him, then this might be free for Canadian. He has to be very wary of the hatch. The moment that he starts to plant, somebody will likely drop. Thinking Nate will have to have this cover if SSG wants to pull off and execute. 30 seconds to get that diffuser down. That's all it'll take. Canadian is at just over 50 HP. Thinking Nate is 1 shot away from death. There's a Maestro cam up. Was it watching him? Canadian will start the plant. You hear some shots above, opening up a hole. This is a very bad place for him to be. And he gets down by Dream. Thinking Nate nowhere nearby to come to the rescue. He's going to turn his back to the Maestro, and a big round. 3 kills for Dream. Tempo Storm will equalize 1-1.
Canadian, unfortunately for him, thought he needed to move. He actually, I don't think he did, but he did. He went and moved anyway and tried to plant somewhere else, somewhere less safe, and ended up dying. I gotta say though, even if he had got the plant down there, I don't think Canadian would have won that. The post plant, there would have been a rush from the remaining players on Tempo, and probably they would have been able to take that. So, good hold out there from Tempo Storm. Nice try from Canadian. And we end that round in a 1-1. So, even so far, Double bar working out second time for TS. We'll go to the kitchen. Now, there's not really much to talk about, to be honest, over that last round. It was a very similar strategy from SSD. Big differences, of course, they didn't manage to get as much control when the gunfight started to come out. Then Tempo Storm now are the ones that are favored, and that's it's weird. I hate leaning on this because I feel like it's almost a cop out. But really, when you have a strategy like what Tempo Storm and SSG are providing us through those rounds on the double bar attack defense, what's happening is SSG sets up again in an array around the bomb site, very spread out, but in a position where they can still somewhat help each other. And then Tempo Storm just sets up and waits. And when the contact happens, it happens explosively. Both teams clash with each other, and then one team comes out with the man advantage. That's what's going on right now. And that is, again, that does come down to primarily two things. One, timing, and two, winning gunfights. So, first time SSG took it, second time Tempo Storm took it. We're going over to a different site. It's kitchen.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, friend.
Thanks, man. I would like to see, actually, we haven't had any operator pick rate stats to show at the start of the Pro League, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that filler that we used to have when we used to go through like map bans. I very much like how clean it is. We get in, we get to the matches, we get to the goods, no waiting. Don't bore us, get to the chorus, as old Dave Grohl would love to say. We get to the meat and potatoes super fast. But I would like to see what Mozzie's pick rate is, because I feel like he is in more rounds than he is not, and I would not be surprised if he is one of the most picked defenders at the moment.
Yeah, and that's actually a really strong statement, because we've not seen a lot of operators come in as strong as Mozzie has. That EMP was thrown for a couple things, possible lesion traps. There is no lesion, but possible lesion traps. C4s from below, maybe. You know, really whatever it is that's going to stop the Thatcher from going in through the building there. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Mozzie has actually come in strong, like we saw Mira do way back in the old Mira meta when
Maestro?
she was Mira, Maestro. Maestro, yeah, kind of Echo. But
Echo was nowhere near as strong.
He had
as
to
he is
get
now.
buffed.
Yeah, they had to give him the second grenade, or the second drone. There goes a grenade.
Speaking of,
It downs Dream. There goes another.
and there's the kill. Well played from Rampy. He's looking for another.
Still, the first kill, though, goes to Tempo Storm. They've got every single one this matchup. Takes out Canadian, who's off of what would be usually hard breach duty, but being on a map like Coastline, because there's so much soft destruction, you can take map control effectively, and all vertical play will just require any kind of soft destruction. I think they just narrowly missed the Jaeger of Filthy. He re-engages. He was trapped. I understand why. Probably should have tried to get out of there a little bit quicker, but somebody like Rampy's usually not letting a kill like that go by. He sees the Mozzie at the top of main stairs, and he'll just wait very patiently for creators to come back. Spacestation with an advantage right now with a minute to go.
Butter's still inside of VIP. He will not be expected in that position, and his ability will cover him. He hasn't been spotted out, as far as I can tell, so he might be able to catch Thinking Nade off guard. Fultz is coming up from behind, though, so the Vigil needs to be aware of that, and there's the spot from the Ash. Thinking Nade will get the kill. SSG, not only the man advantage, but now strong positional advantage. And Rampy is going to be able to do a lot of work onto this floor to open up above. Crazy, the anchor in the site.
I was going to say, the smoke is the one right underneath Rampy in his line of sight, and you can toss up those toxic canisters to deal a little bit of damage, some small ticks, but overall, you're not going to be able to fell anybody unless you bring out that shotgun. You got to time the smokes for service, which is perfectly done. Crazy, with just over 20 seconds left, can dump the remainder of his gadgets out, and there's very little that the attackers will be able to do to thwart it. So instead, you've got two people from Space Station ready to hurl themselves in service, while Crazy lets the smoke linger, but he loses the fight, trades it off, rather. There's Creators on his belly, but he's not nowhere near enough in the tank to be able to shut down Rampy or anybody else from Space Station, as there was still that vertical play. Because you lost bodies early on, nobody from Tempo Storm was able to get up onto that second floor, and when a buck or a sledge is above you, you're gonna have a bad time. Space Station takes 2-1.
And once again, we will go back to the same bomb site. So, the big thing there for SSG was they were so very successful on the top floor clear. Tempo Storm put up a little bit of a fight. They had some roamers in VIP by Hall of Fame, and just in general upstairs above the bomb site, even in Projector, they had one guy. And Tempo Storm lost 3 people in the room. Then the single anchor and the one person, I believe, by the main lobby of the Mozzie, couldn't hold out against the 4 players that were still alive on SSG. Canadian died early on, but that was pretty much it. So, Good clear upstairs from SSG.
Attackers need to
Vertical
locate
control
and
working
defuse
out really
as
well
many
for them,
bombs as
as they were
can.
all able to open up because they had plenty of time and manpower and utility. And that's the end of the round. Pretty much, they went for a plant,
Attackers have
and they won it.
discovered the location
Now,
of
to be
the
fair,
bomb.
it did come pretty close there. A couple seconds left in the round, and if the plant had been denied just a little bit later, then we might have seen a different result, actually. We saw a couple of those kinds of rounds in the last matchup in TSM versus Luminosity, but not so here. Yeah, good round to SSG. One thing I want to point out that's really cool is like we're talking about all these new skins, but have you noticed the new theme
5 seconds
that
left
Canadian
before
has
insertion.
applied to all of his weapons? He's got the maple leaf charm and the red gun skin on everything. He's got his own little theme. It looks really cool.
Have you noticed Jarvis doesn't run a single skin on any gun?
There's a couple players like that.
And he runs the Canadian charm on every gun. That's it. He runs the same one that Canadian is running. I don't know. I mean, Canadian's obviously running it because he's Canadian, but I don't know if it's also a subtle nod to the fact that Jarvis runs that same charm on every single gun.
Maybe.
I know back in the day when he played on Evil Geniuses, Troy used to run the blue weapon skin and the EG icon. But in this case, he's not running the SSG charm, he's just running the Canadian charm. So I guess pride, national pride, comes over top of his organization. There was a skirmish at the start that involved Foltz sitting inside a blue bar. He's still there, waiting patiently.
Foltz has got to hear creators on the other side of this wall. I mean, he's hearing that shuffle through the hole that was made. Sound propagates through the nearest available hole or, avenue through a hallway or anything along those lines. So with that hole, yeah, they're right on top of each other and they know it.
There's a drone assisting Foltz, though. That's the big thing, and it's on to Butters, who was playing over by security. He's going to scamper off with the Vigil gadget active. Bosco sees that there's somebody from Tempo Storm inside of the bar, and he'll miss his shots, but then immediately go right onto Drone to try and discover their location. He'll drone it in through Pink. That was Creators that was spotted. Now Foltz is in pursuit. He'll open up some of the wall, find some coverage, some shelter, but there's Dream, my, from a long angle. He shuts Foltz down. Dream has been on a tear so far in this matchup, playing the long angles as Maestro, and he's making SSG pay when they do not drone him out.
That was crazy because it was, I believe, through the wall in Garden from the main lobby, which means, and I don't even think that's open. Oh no, it is open. Maybe it was opened by him. Whatever the case, though, a really good play there from Dream, and Foltz is punished after opening up the wall into Sunrise as he gave his position away. That has also allowed creators to rotate into Office, and so Tempo Storm not only have a man advantage, but their positions have gotten even better thanks to Foltz's efforts. Only a minute left here for Spacestation to execute on the bomb site. That's too far for the Skeleton Key to be effective. Lots of damage drop-off for the shotguns when it comes to soft destruction. Ooh, this position given away, and he doesn't check for it, so Rampy doesn't get the kill. You see the rotation there from the Mozzie. He's now in a safer spot, and he'll kill Rampy on the second engagement. Creators having a really good round here, not just because he's got the single kill, but also because of his positioning. He's gotten his second now onto Bosco, as SSG seems they really want to take a lot of 1v1s here.
I was thinking, Nate, with 20 seconds left, but this round is essentially over, and Tempo Storm should have no problem as Canadian has 1 HP, and he gets finished off by Filthy inside of the lobby. Anticlimactic finish, but Tempo Storm muscled that one out. With about a minute left on the clock, that round was essentially theirs. Really good control down below, and there was nothing that SSG could do. Their entry was weak. They spent too much time trying for Foltz to get that kill, and they set up in all the wrong places. You don't really get control of either of the double bars, and you can't really go from there. So, that'll be it. 2-2, heading to round number 5.
Generally a pretty bad attack there from SSG. Mostly, I would say that I'm a little confused as to why they shifted their focus on the attack. It seemed like they were trying to clear upstairs a little bit, but they didn't put nearly as much focus into it as the last time they attacked on the kitchen. So, a relatively subtle change. One that strongly determined the outcome of the round. Tempo Storm, on the other hand, again, leaning back on the whole winning their engagements thing, and, well, Tempo Storm did a pretty good job of that, actually. Big ups to the teamwork that is coming forward here for Tempo, especially in that roam, allowing the Mozzie to rotate over to the Office by cutting off the Ash that was playing by Blue Bar. That really did single-handedly win the round, because then the Mozzie's getting 2 kills from Office because everyone's trying to contest him in the 1v1s, and, well, When you leave it to a 1v1, you're not likely to win it. Should definitely double down. Bring a 2v1. Why not? You have the manpower for it. So, we're only a little bit through this match, but it's already looked good for both teams in each of the rounds that they're winning. I gotta say, every round that is won by either team has been dominant, and that's a reoccurring trend here. Since we have seen Double Bar twice, Kitchen twice, I guess it's time for Hookah twice now. So SSG should win this one, and then we will see Tempo go to this site once more, and then win it, and then we get a 3-3 for the first time.
What are you doing for breakfast, Michael? You want to go for breakfast? Because we're gonna do every single round today. We're gonna be done at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, wait, if it is actually 10 a.m., there's this really lovely cafe that I want to visit.
It's not gonna be 10 a.m.
It's more likely going to be around like 6 or something like that. So let's hit up, I guess, the only thing that's open.
Well, it's 5 a.m. right now, so we've still got 2 more matches to play. We got this one.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's been a long one so far. These teams evenly matched, not as one-sided as many would expect it to be, especially given that for almost all the matches, you've got a higher team in the standings against a much lower team in the standings.
Yeah.
Dream has been, no, that's Filthy, actually. I was just so used to seeing the Maestro.
Changed roles.
They have indeed changed roles, and Filthy's been spotted inside a hookah. He was belly down, and he's going to get shot and finished off by Bosco.
Good play there from Bosco on the rappel. He didn't even need to use any of his firebolts, and firebolts could have guaranteed him the kill in that situation. You can place them so that they will cover the entirety of that hookah bar, or at least the entire safe portion of the hookah bar. Bosco didn't even need to get to that step, so that's good efficiency. He can use those for other things, like cutting off rotations when the plant comes out. Now, one thing that's really interesting is that this seems to be a hookah take, and we don't really see those very much. They do happen, mind you, but it's an uncommon occurrence. Generally speaking, most teams attack into Aqua, but it seems like that is taking a little bit of a shift in the meta now. I mean, and that's how the meta works.
It was an Electric Claw that just denied Canadian's ability to cut through the wall, and, well, Dreams lost the Electric Claw, so there will be no second attempt. That means that a little bit of coverage at the top of Cool Vibe stairs will be gone from the Tempo Storm defense. There's a weird drone movement there as it finds itself at the feet of Dream and gets shot away still. Space Station with 45 on the clock, all tied up between the two teams, but they have a lead right now, and on top of the head of Dream, a firebolt will get dropped. Doesn't look like it's going to do any damage to him, so at least you tried. Where did it...
It didn't work the way he wanted it to.
Where did it go?
Or maybe it did, because Dream is on low HP, but I think he just took damage from Rampy there.
I'm so confused as to what just happened there, Michael.
Rampy's going to rush up. And
tosses out a grenade. Waits patiently for somebody to pop into his field of view. He loses the fight to Butters. Beautiful shot. Craters with 1. Down goes the C4. It'll get Canadian. Butters is in a one-man stand. A one-man army, would you call him? He's got 2 kills so far. His charm says time to kick ass, but it's not going to come to fruition. Bosco gets the very first kill of the round and then puts a nice period on that round as well by getting the last one. He swings on it.
So all that needs to happen for the prophecy to be fulfilled is for Tempo to go back to that site once again and to win it on the second time.
Well, you're not wrong.
For the first part.
First step of the prophecy is unfolding. I thought Mo Digga was the prophecy. That's what a couple people in...
Huh?
People have called him the prophet. They call him the prophecy. Yeah, the prophet Mo Digga.
What's that about?
I don't know. I think it's just because when he came through Challenger League, he was really talented, and everybody was saying that he was just obscenely good. So they called him the prophet, like he was the... I don't know.
I think that's the wrong... so, like maybe the prodigy would be appropriate?
The prophet. I don't know. He sees everything. He knows everything. He's a prophet.
Okay.
Like P-R-O-P-H-E-T, not like P-R-O-F-I-T.
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
I mean, I didn't make it up. I don't care. It was easily you said it.
All right.
You want to take it up? You take it up with take it up with Kevin.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Sounds like you got.
I don't want to fight anyone.
Sounds like you got beef with Kevin.
Stop it. Why are you trying to start beef between me and other people? I don't. Get out of here,
Parker. Sorry, it doesn't sound like I'm starting anything. It sounds like I'm just pointing out something that you've already had beef with him before.
Stop it, Parker.
Not doing anything.
Doing everything.
First part of the prophecy
people are going to believe
unfolding in front of us. Yeah, well, there are people who believe everything. There are people who believe that we rig the seating show because they're not smart. Okay? I have seen far too many people on social media today being like, it's very clear that the balls are weighted, that you can see their hands moving over, and it's like, we can't see what's in the balls. Like,
oh my god.
I don't know if you know this, but balls are not see-through.
Yeah, so they put paper in the thing, and then they
it's
shake
folded
it,
over. We
and
didn't see it.
then they shake it up, and then that's it.
They literally drop a bunch of containers in front of us. They don't tell us like what's in what ball. They're just like, oh boy.
Oh no!
Creators.
What a lock on there from Fultz.
This is off to early action, though. No banter time at all in this particular matchup. 30 seconds, and I think that the teams are a little bit focused on the objective in front of them. But Bosco getting taken out by Space Station's side and Creators on Tempo's side. I think that the Capital's a little bit more valuable.
Yeah, the Capital's a win there. Tempo Storm coming out in the win column for the early engagements, but that's just the early engagement, so it's not the end of the world there. They could definitely, and by they I mean of course Space Station, make a recovery, especially if Fultz continues to land shots like the one he just landed earlier. But again, it is Hookah, and this is the second time that Tempo has won Hookah, so of course they cannot lose this. It's just impossible. Parker, most of the matches we've been casting over these last few Pro League playdays have been these back and forth matches. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. Like constant back and forth.
It's just crazy looking at it. It's like that accordion style deal where it's like they win one round, then they lose the next round, then they win the next round, then they lose the next, and it's just like, no. There's no momentum. Picking away at Butter's head as Fultz upside down. That'll be a second kill on the round. You're about halfway through round number 6. Final defense, of course, for Tempo Storm.
He strafed into that spray. That is uncomfortable if you're a Mozzie. When Butters rewatches this VOD, he'll be like, I shouldn't have done that.
Unfortunate timing, and now down goes the Maestro of Filthy, and might get finished off here by an impact if they get the right call, but you got to be very wary that you're not shooting your shot on the window. Canadian will be securing the kill with a frag grenade as Rampy takes down Dream, and Crazy in a 1v4. As a smoke, we've seen clutches like this before, especially when there's 2 toxic canisters in play, but there is a body.
Many bodies.
There's the House of 1,000 Corpses in front of him, and, well, there's no vacancy here.
So it's worth noting that I think corpses are... No?
Let's not talk about it.
Okay.
Anyway, couldn't see through the bodies.
He couldn't see through the... Well, I think he could have, but... Never mind, doesn't matter. So, 4-2 first half, Space Station in the lead, and they have violated the sanctity of the prophecy by ending it in such a way. It'll be a kitchen defense next for SSG, and here's that shot from Fultz, that absolutely clean lock-on, and there it is, Crater's gone. That's a really good reactionary shot. He almost lost that engagement too. The carbine was about to chip through his HP so quickly, he wouldn't have been able to respond, but not so for Fultz. He's got the muscle memory down.
Swapping sides, first defense for Space Station is going to be on kitchen. How dare they defile the prophecy? You were absolutely correct.
You know what's really weird is they keep attacking on hookah. They were doing hookah attacks onto that. Normally people attack from Aqua. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a shift, and the meta keeps evolving. But it's just really interesting to note how that has changed. And maybe it'll change for other teams too. Usually what we'll see if there's going to have like a hookah take is you'll see a hookah take and then an aqua take and then a hookah take and an aqua take and a little bit of a mix up. But not so for SSG. They stuck to that hookah attack the whole time. Kitchen defense, by the way. And yeah, it does suck. Because now nobody knows what's going to happen.
5 seconds remaining.
Almost like nobody knows who's going to get what seated in the Invitational.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Just like you don't understand why kids love the cinnamon toast, the taste of cinnamon toast crunch. It's sugary.
You know, I get sick of it really fast. It gets good for one bowl, and then I can't have any more.
What's it like eating cereal?
I don't eat it very often. Oh, that's right, you can't, because you... you can't, because you're sick.
I'm not sick! You can't say it like that. It's not like I'm... It's okay. That makes me feel like I'm weak.
Well, I wanted to say the actual, but I don't remember which type it is, because I don't remember which one's which, so I felt like it would be insensitive.
I'm a type A personality. It's okay.
Okay.
See the setup for Space Station. They're going to forego the Mozzie, but they're going to run a mute as well. And this paralyzing intel game that comes out from defenders that is so adequate and so proficient at stopping the attackers from gaining any ground or gathering intel as need be.
Gaining any ground. Thinking Nate holding on to Penthouse. Now, he's got a great kit to do this with, but the problem is that Tempo Storm's going to have a good kit to actually pressure him when they come to open the VIP wall. Canadian playing on 90, very dangerous position to play, but he's, you know, just going to stick to it. He knows what his job is, and all he needs to do is land the shot when somebody comes to confront him. Crazy is going to probably be that player as he is attempting to challenge in from luggage. Seems he's aware of the potential roam inside a projector, but maybe not about the player in 90. That is going to be Canadian, who's actually just been droned out.
Rampy is right below luggage stairs as well. Canadian losing that fight to Crazy. Oh my. Looks like he might have taken some damage there, or should have taken some damage, but won't. Rampy rotates down below as it's a full fall off for SSG. This is a kitchen defense, so the penthouse and theater aspect that we see Tempo Storm focusing on right now is just simply to gain that map control from above. And they will very soon realize that they almost have it. Oh no, Fultz from below. He'll spray up and down Filthy. Can he secure any more? He'll get droned out. Very wary of somebody re-aggressing. Here's some shots from the Capitao with the LMG in hand. 50 seconds to go, and Rampy is now in blue bar. You want to take a close fight if you're an Ella in that position. Rampy's a great shot, but that gun does not fare well at long distances. Still playing inside of Sunrise now as he's been able to find a way out of the room that was blue. Crater's evading the mute jammers. 30 seconds to go. If the Ella pushes up to cool vibes, he'll be dead to the Lion. Another EOD will go out. Fultz with 2 kills. He's got 3 so far. Well, should have 3 as he downed Filthy earlier. He'll secure what's left of it. So I guess back to 2. Lose that fight though. Oh, he trades. There's been so many trades recently. Snaps onto the head of Dream. He'll take 3 kills. Pistol out for Rampy. He's going to need to be extremely accurate here. Missing his shots, dealing some damage. Can't engage farther range with the Scorpion. Butters will need to plant. Shotgun is out though. Thinking nade with some significant damage. Bosco's credited with the final 2 kills. And SSG will extend their lead.
Tempo Storm, a great clear of the top floor, and even a man advantage established in excellent efficiency, I should say. Once they had top floor control and the man advantage, it seemed like Tempo Storm was in the driver's seat. They had everything going for them, but they made one fateful decision that cost them the round. They decided to try and attack through the main lobby. And that happened to be where Fultz was. Fultz said, no, you cannot come here. Killed 3 of them before he managed to, well, before he was killed, and then SSG won the round. Done. That was really it. I mean, if you're gonna push main lobby, you got to take care of the Maestro in the main lobby. Again, it's one of those cases where if you want to take a fight, take it as a team instead of in a series of 1v1s. Fultz punished Tempo Storm for that mistake and won the round for his squad. Bosco, of course, got the last 2 kills there in the site, but I'm really just, again, put that on Fultz's shoulders. That's a win for him. So good job to him. Now SSG up 5-2, where it seemed like we were going to see a little bit of a bounce back from Tempo Storm. Not so. Double bar being the next defensive site for SSG. I missed an opportunity to make a "you shall not pass" joke.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Happens.
Fultz said, "You shall not pass." But I didn't.
Oh! That's from
That one movie.
Harry Potter. I love that movie.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
I love that movie.
Good series.
That's when Dumbledore takes his lightsaber out, right? And he puts it in the ground and he's like, you shall not pass.
Yeah, and then whoever takes the lightsaber out of the ground, because he can't get it out anymore, is king forever.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't remember that part of the movie, but.
And then the Vulcans show up and they're like, "This is a testbed planet for potential movie plots, and you're not supposed to be here."
We don't get to watch Twitch chat, which is good. It's good for your health, by the way, to not read Twitch chat. But there's definitely going to be people who are going to be like, "Oh my God, so cringe! They're trying so hard." And it's like, yeah, the whole purpose of that joke is to be like openly stupid and deliberately cringy. And if you're saying "haha cringe," you got it.
You're good.
Yeah, you understood what we were trying to do. Very smart for you. You are a smart one. Also, what is with all the running?
The run out.
Oh my.
Has been discovered.
So we had talked about how Creators, or Dream rather, was playing that Maestro extremely aggressively, and in this case, I believe Canadian refers to him as Fultzy Poo. Fultzy is going to get very aggressive here, and no, Filthy creeps on up and thinking Nade takes him out. So, 2 members of Tempo down for the count.
Is that match point right there? Because it seems like match point.
That might be match point right now for SSG, as it is a double bars defense, and, well, Tempo Storm realize that they've got some ground to make up, so they hop on into kitchen. The Lion hops out, so Creators is gone, Butter's still in there. You got the Mozzie above, so finally this Mozzie-Mute combo, we are seeing it so frequently. And just together, they are very effective. Down goes Rampy. Creators finds 1 kill. They need to bring this back. We see a lot of teams lose a 5v3 advantage to go down to a 3v3. Can Butters now do it as well with Creators joining it?
Possible. I mean, right now, Tempo has a decent position here inside of the office, and there are EE1Ds still on Creators, so he can do a lot with that in terms of slowing down SSG. Canadian has been downed. That's really important. It doesn't seem like the enemy is aware that he's been down. C4 goes out and lands with Thinking picking up Creators as well. It's all on Butters in a 1v3, and he can't even make it through the smoke. Bosco, nice spray in the wild, and SSG, match point.
Opening pick and utter domination from there on out. And that's the extended barrel, not the suppressor. We thought it was a suppressor way back when, and it's not a suppressor.
It looks like a suppressor. Can I just say that?
It looks, you may.
It just looks like a suppressor.
Would you like to say it again?
It looks like a heckin' suppressor, man. Like, what is that extra space on the extended barrel for, if not for dissipating sound? I gotta...
It was not a suppressor. It was the long.
Even production is saying in our ear that they think it's a suppressor.
It's not the suppressor. It's the long barrel. It wouldn't have sounded like that. It sounded like a normal gun.
It doesn't matter. Poor choice of model. They have a long barrel. They have the model already created. They can just put it on.
They said Mirror doesn't have long barrel. I thought no. I thought they brought an extended barrel in. They did. They brought an extended barrel in when Goyo came out.
Somebody
needs to check this.
Somebody made it. They were like, "Oh, it's not a suppressor." Haha. Last time we talked about it.
Because this is a hill I will die on. Okay, we're not having another Thatcher doesn't have a shotgun moment. Okay.
Well, I don't think we need that.
When the G8 came with Amaru, they added an angled grip to it.
Okay.
When the Vector came with Goyo, I could have sworn they added an extended barrel.
It doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't matter to be true.
I mean, we can easily just look this up.
It doesn't matter.
Very much matters.
Okay, it doesn't matter enough for me to want to look it up. What I do know is that he killed him with the Vector through the smoke, whatever the barrel attachment is. By the way, they both have the same recoil patterns, whether it's extended or suppressor.
Whoa!
Because neither of them help the recoil at all.
It's a very seductive picture, by the way.
Or at least they should. I don't know, actually. I've never tested that, but I know that neither of them are supposed to affect recoil, so they both technically should have the same recoil.
That run out is not punished from SSG as we now sit on match point with 3 points available for Space Station. They've collected 1 so far, which will put them at 7 points for the day. They still will trail TSM and DZ, which means that no matter what happens, SSG will finish 3rd in the standings today. With that single point secured, they got an opportunity for 2 more. And Tempo Storm have not looked very good here on Coastline. Bosco just narrowly avoids an explosion down below. That could have been either Crazy or Filthy. I believe it was probably the Ash charge of Filthy, so...
Yeah, he's just made his way into the Sunrise Bar. Crazy over by Aqua Balcony, trying to apply pressure to that Aqua. So you're right. So this is a decent setup here from Tempo, and they haven't lost anyone in the initial setup, so that's really good. That bodes well.
You wanted to make note of that when SSG attacked on Hookah, that their focus was on the actual Hookah site versus this off-site auxiliary, whatever you want to call it, ancillary site, which is Aqua, which is where you can see 2 members of Space Station roaming. They are roaming over towards Aqua, one of which now spotted on luggage. Claymore goes down, which will stop and impede any progress from Space Station to retake from luggage. Canadian has taken a lot of damage, and that's where we're at halfway through the round.
This is a really aggressive round from Tempo. They are keeping up their own tempo, and Thinking Nade's going to punish Butters with a headshot, so there's 1 kill for SSG. Filthy trying to hold downstairs by himself. He has to know Rampy is there. Yeah, there's no reason for him to be holding the single otherwise. He's aware of Rampy's position, must have seen the barrel or something along those lines earlier. So when Rampy moves, he will likely die. And oh my, okay, he does.
How?
Filthy loses some HP, 1 HP on Filthy, so that was unnecessary. And SSG, meanwhile, are winning their engagements elsewhere. Creators trying to challenge the door, but it's Bosco to deny him. And there's actually Thinking Nade spraying from the window, applying a lot of pressure to that balcony as well.
The mute of Canadian is down below. He makes much of a ruckus underneath Crazy's feet as Filthy's been downed. And, well, now that goes Crazy too. This is all but over. Filthy's actually not down. He's on exactly 1 HP, but now he's down. It's a clean sweep in the latter half of that round. SSG, 3 big points. They'll take it 7-2. By the way, Space Station, they have a pile program skin. Get it. Look at, oh.
Or they're using, is this
I'm blue, I'm blue. I live in no. All right, well, they are not a blue team. They are showing off the brand new seasonal skins.
Is that the new one?
That's the new one. They're all blue, just like Nighthaven. And here you go.
I wonder if that one's going to get banned.
I hear an echo. Space Station have a skin on the Maestro weapon, the Alda, as well as a full kit on Echo as well on Team Space Station Gaming.
Oh, hi.
Will win the matchup. Hello, nice to see you. That was a dominating performance from SSG, very similar to what TSM did. That was 5 rounds in a row from Space Station after they had that accordion-like, seesaw-like, back and forth-like, whatever you want to call it, up, down, left, right.
Something like.
They were trading rounds like. And then, yeah, 5 rounds in a row from Space Station. And they utterly clobbered Tempo Storm. And now Tempo Storm, they once again lose out an opportunity for points. And that run differential is going to grow mightily right now.
Yes, it is going to be big and strong when it grows up. Now, we've got one more match after that one to end out the day. It's EG Rec. But before then, we should have some people to talk to about that win. It was a really impressive one. I hope that, by the way, before we get to it, I really hope we get to talk to Lycan.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh!
I was going to say the same thing, sharing the same brain. I was going to say, as much as I love talking to Troy, don't get me wrong, nice guy, fellow countryman, lives nearby my house in Canada. We all know each other, But I love talking to Justin Woods. I hope they heard us, because I know that they heard us, and I hope that they actually take some action on that front, because last time around,
Got to be Lycan.
It's got to be Lycan. I would love to talk to Lycan, and I will boycott the interview
What? No, don't do that.
if it's not Lycan.
Don't do that. You're just going to stand there silently with your arms crossed. No. No. You won't get your... No.
Yeah,
It's going to be you.
that's going to be me. I'm just going to...
No.
Could you imagine I just stare silently at the camera for like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, thanks for your time. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And then we just come right back.
Yeah, that would be weird. Let's
Excellent.
not let that happen.
Excellent content. Interview's not ready yet. I'm waiting with bated breath as to who it's going to be. I really want to talk to Justin Woods. He's a nice guy. Interview is ready. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Hey! You listened!
I did.
I'm so happy. I like talking to you very much, and I am glad that you are back on the camera. And congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I enjoy talking to you guys as well.
There you go. He's not quite in the neck, almost in the picture. There you go.
Thank you, Kick.
Your matchup today against Tempo Storm. Utter domination. But one thing I want to focus on first and foremost, why the blue uniforms?
I don't know. The guys just wanted, last season we had like gun skins all together. So they just like doing stuff together as a team. Builds camaraderie and stuff like that.
Yeah, I often find that it builds camaraderie when Kix and I wear the same outfit as well to cast. So
It does.
I was just curious. I didn't know if there was like a reasoning behind it, because I think it was the last play day that we casted in A. It was like half of them were in blue skins, but not all of them. So, all right. So here's been the big story for Space Station this season. You have dramatically improved in online best of ones. It's been 4 play days now. We are a quarter of the way through the season, and this still seems to be holding you look much sharper. What did you do in the off season in order to secure yourself better footing when it came to best of ones?
I just feel like it really started with picking up Troy. Even though obviously we were tying in that half, like we've brought it up many times. The roles were wrong. He was still trying to learn like how I like to play Siege. And I think now finally like we're getting to see why we picked him up in the first place. I also like to point out too, I think a really cool thing of improvement is last year, this season, that like the first split, we only had 7 points. And now we've already beat that, and we still have a couple games left. So I think that's really cool, like to see, improvement along a year's span. So
that must be a good feeling. I mean, you won the SI quals. Bosco is the gatekeeper. People always refer to him as such. You won USN as well. You mentioned at some point, I can't remember which interview it was, that whether it was you or whether it was Troy or somebody on the team, that you are a momentum-based team. How do you dig deep when you find yourself losing that momentum in a best of one?
I don't know. I don't think that we're really too momentum based. I feel like it's kind of one of those things where we are a freight train, where I feel like once we start putting rounds on like another team, that they start feeling pressured, and I can see how someone might consider that momentum. But like when we lose, it's really like constructive right away about like what happened, what do we do next time to fix it, and stuff like that. So I guess you would say momentum going forward, but not really backwards. So I wouldn't really call it momentum. It's probably something else.
I was wondering if it was something like in terms of like IGLing, or if you as a coach, stop your guys and talk to them and kind of give them all motivational speech here. But the last question for you involves the SI brackets. Now, they came out today. I would have asked the same question to TSM, but they tied, and I asked the same question to Dark Zero. I don't know if you were watching the broadcast earlier, but basically, what are your thoughts on your bracket? You're in there with TSM, your fellow countrymen, and you got 2 EU squads. What do you think?
I think we have a really good bracket to watch, that's for sure. We've scrimmed Navi a couple times, so we kind of have a good idea of how they play. We've played Krapel and his boys literally every time we ever go to a LAN. So we're very aware of how they play, and they're very aware of how we play. And I like to always put in extra in a team. So I think our group is it's a pretty good group. I think it's a fairly strong group compared to some of the other groups. But yeah, I'm excited for invitationals. I think some of the groups got oddly stacked for a very odd reason, but it is what it is.
You want to give us a prediction? I mean, obviously you'll probably finish first. I mean, you have to say that. Who's finishing second?
I think TSM.
Oh, he thinks that NA is better than EU, Michael. Ooh, some drama. I think that your group probably has the title of Group of Death tied with A. I lean more towards A, but Kix was more towards B. So I mean, I agree with you. I think they will be exciting matches to watch, and I think there's a huge unpredictability factor there. So enjoy your preparation though for SI, and anything to say to conclude the interview.
Same thing as always. I really appreciate everyone who comes out here, no matter what team you support or watch. Thank you for watching Rainbow Six. We all really appreciate it. And excited for SI and excited to see you there.
I'm excited to see you too, man. You're going to get a nice big hug. Thanks for talking to us. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Thanks.